Starting a fat loss journey this year and trying to get to the point where you can see your abs, if you're starting at a higher body fat percentage, I understand how frustrating it is, and it can be tempting to look for shortcuts online, buy some supplements and look for shortcuts to speed up the process. But the unfortunate answer to this is you have to just put the work in for over a longer period of time. Anyone out there that you see that is lean has just put the work in consistently to create a calorie deficit, which means burning more calories through your activity levels than the food that you are consuming. And there's no way of getting around this. This is the only way that you can lose body fat. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a no-nonsense 4-step approach to see your abs this year, and we're getting straight into it. The first thing is creating a calorie deficit, and this is the only way that you can lose body fat regardless of what anyone tells you. First of all, want to take a calorie estimate online. Doesn't matter too much, it's just a rough estimate. Find a couple of calculators, put in your height, weight, an estimate of your activity levels, and then that will spit out a calorie target to aim for. What's more important is implementation and just putting this into practice. So what you're going to do is you're going to track your calories ideally for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and you are going to track your body weight. Now we'll get onto the diet side of things in more detail, and I'll give you a couple of options in a minute. But what I would recommend for most people, so that you get an understanding of the different food types and what is in each food, so that you make better choices long term, is to start by tracking your calories. Once you have been tracking your calories for 2 or 3 weeks and tracking your body weight daily, you take a weekly average of your body weight and you see if it's coming down. If your body weight is coming down on average over a 2 or 3 week period, you can pretty much safely say you are in a calorie deficit at that point. Keep doing what you're doing, it's working, simple as that. If your body weight's not coming down or it's maintaining, you're at maintenance calories. If it's going up, then you are in a calorie surplus and you need to then adjust. What you then do is adjust food portions down a bit further and you increase your activity level. So you either increase your step count, you do a bit more cardio, weight training if you want. I would definitely recommend doing weight training, but it's easier to taper up steps and cardio to get the calorie burn up for that side of the equation. That is how you are creating a calorie deficit. Now, in practice is what people struggle with. So you probably read online about how to actually do it, but the hardest things people struggle with are managing weekends, social events, doing everything right midweek, and then going off the rails at the weekend. You go out for drinks or you go out for a meal and you fall off plan. So how do you actually stay on track? I'm going to take a no-nonsense approach here. I'm not going to BS you or anything. You have to be more disciplined with your alcohol intake if you want to get lean. And you can still have a drink here and there, but realistically, if you're going out every weekend and sending it and going on a mad one, you're just going to be offsetting the work that you are doing in the week. That's what I was doing for years. And it was only when I reduced my alcohol intake and planned ahead for social events that I actually got to see my abs. So that is the approach that we're going to take. So what you're going to do with the lifestyle is plan ahead for social events and meals out. Have a higher calorie day at the weekend, save some calories by having some lower calorie days midweek, or you can reduce your calories on the day of the event. Maybe have a lighter breakfast, skip breakfast, save your calories for the meals that you're having out, and just regulate that, find what works best for you. Now, looking at your calories as a whole for the week rather than a day in isolation means that you can take that longer term view and not have to miss out on the social stuff. And you are going to have to dial back a little bit on the drinking, because the alcohol contains a lot more calories than people think. And then when you're drinking a lot, your sleep quality is bad. You then get sleep deprived and make poor choices with your nutrition. So everything gets a lot easier when you are reducing your alcohol intake, and that's what I found in my experience. On the diet side of things, you either track calories or use portion control and things like intermittent fasting. So shortening your eating window, skipping breakfast, or only eating in an 8-9 hour window is naturally going to lower the number of calories you're consuming. If you don't want to track calories, do that and look at your portions of your plates and be sensible with it. Reduce carbs, increase protein and fruit and veg. If you're tracking calories, do that, and it's going to be a bit more of an accurate approach and potentially faster results. Pick your poison, just get it done. And to save yourself some stress on the calorie tracking front, the most common mistakes I see is people overestimating how many calories they're burning on the exercise side of things, and therefore trying to eat food back, checking your Fitbit, thinking you burn X number of calories on a run and eating that food back when your calorie target has already taken into account those calories from the activity. So don't do that. Liquid calories do count, I'm afraid. So alcohol, coffees that you buy out, juices, make sure you're accounting for everything fully and tracking at weekends and not just during the week. Third thing you need to be thinking about is weight training to see those changes in shape. So the biggest mistakes on the weight training side of things is people going in, trying to do the most from day one, going from 0 to hero, doing 5 sessions a week when you are new to the gym. It's probably not sustainable. I think a better approach is just doing 2 to 3 gym sessions a week. I would start with any full body training program 3 days a week. You can even do a push-pull legs. Just find a structure training program that is actually going to allow you to then track that the weight's going up. Doesn't matter how you're tracking that the weight's going up. Use a pen and paper, your phone notes, use an app like Rep Count that I recommend to clients. It doesn't really matter, just find a way of tracking that the weights are going up in the gym over time, which is called progressive overload. And gradually, by doing that and just pushing yourself in the gym, you see those changes in shape in combination with lowering your calorie intake and getting yourself in a deficit. The fourth and final thing, very important point, is just staying patient, because like I said at the start, it's going to take longer than you think to see your abs if you're starting at a higher body fat percentage. And if you gained weight over 2 or 3 years watching this and you're expecting results in 2 to 3 weeks, I'm afraid it's just not going to happen. It might take 3 months, 4 months before you start seeing those big changes in the mirror, but recognize what you're doing well at the start. Either get some accountability in terms of a support group, friends, family, anyone that's working towards their fitness goals. Reach out to people online, find a supportive community, get a coach, even better. Obviously that's a little plug for me. Jokes aside, doesn't necessarily have to be me. Find someone to keep you accountable to your goals, because it's a lot easier to say, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this in the new year and actually stay on track. But doing it and putting it into practice is a different matter. Don't be too hard on yourself, stick at it, and you will see your abs this year. I hope you found these tips useful. If you did, hit like and subscribe if you're new to the channel for more simple fat loss and muscle building tips. See you on the next video. Have a great day. I'll see you then.